I think I'm live right now. I tried a live stream last week. It didn't work so well. We're going to try it again today. The reason why you might want to watch this live stream, even on record, because I doubt anyone joins me today, is because this is a peek inside the life. It's a segment I'm going to call What I'm Working On. And it's where I'm going to share what's working well in my businesses, what's not working well, how I'm allocating my time, some of the behind the scenes, how I'm learning, and what areas I'm kind of focused on. The reason you might be interested in this, and you might not, but the reason you might be interested is because I have a really fulfilling, happy life. And I think there are little nuggets that you can pull from what I'm doing to find more happiness and fulfillment in your life. I think I definitely have some things of value to share. Just as a little bit of background, my day job is I'm a professor in teacher education, so I teach teachers how to teach. It's a very fulfilling job, but the salary is very poor. And so because of that, for the last 20 years, I've always had side hustles. And a lot of those have bombed, but some have been successful. They've resulted in me meeting some incredible people, working with celebrities all over the world, and earning income, developing skills. I've developed hundreds of websites. I've written several books. And now where I'm spending a lot of my time is in content creation. And I'm not super viral. I'm not a huge brand. But my content creation, which mostly involves doing product reviews, earns me more than my salary as a teacher. And because this is compounded over time, plus good investments and things like that, I'm to the point where I'm coming up in a few years on being 50. And we're at that point, we probably will have enough money to retire if we wanted to. We won't want to, but we'll have financial independence. And so that's why you might be interested is I've done some things that are smart with money that have set me and my family up for a long, long time. So that's kind of who I am and where I'm coming from. Why am I recording this as I walk down the trail? And I know it's probably distracting hearing me clomp on the ground. It is beautiful today, so that's kind of nice. But why that? Because creator side income, while I love this channel, I think it adds a lot of value. It isn't the top of my priority list, and I just haven't been able to make time for it this summer. And so I figured if I treat this as journaling or, just sharing my secrets, and I do that at a time that's convenient for me, then it's probably more sustainable. And so depending on you guys, I may or may not continue doing it, but we'll see. I mean, this is my first live stream. I don't know how it's going to go. So it's called what we're working on. And the reason I say we're is when I make decisions as an individual, it impacts my family. And especially this summer, I've started involving my children and my wife in a lot of the meaningful things I'm doing. So for example, in my product review business right now, I'm running a summer internship where I've actually hired my children to work for me and to start learning skills and learning how to do product reviews so that hopefully one day they can start their own business, run something on the side, and make money while they sleep. And so that's been a hard thing for me because I get frustrated, my kids get frustrated. It's not easy work, but we're trying to figure out what can I actually have them do that will save me time, that will actually make me money in the long run, which will also help them develop skills. So for example, right now, my son, he's uploading all my product review videos that I've already filmed and uploaded to the US storefront. He's uploading those to the Canadian and UK storefronts. And then he's also learning how to edit videos so that pretty soon I can just film the videos and he will edit them for me and upload those to the US storefront as well. So really excited about that, but it has been kind of a frustrating process for both of us. And so he only does basically an hour a day, 5 hours a week. He has incentives. He hits so much time. We're tracking the results. So he'll get a Christmas bonus where we'll split the extra money that comes into my business because of his efforts. So that's been kind of cool. And I think he's learning a lot, but it hasn't really been fun. I thought it would be a little more enjoyable. It hasn't been. Now, my daughter, She's working as a research assistant on one of my books, and she's been using ChatGPT and other tools to take my manuscripts, edit them, add ideas, fill in gaps for me, and then we meet once a week to kind of go over the manuscript together. That one's been more useful. She's paid a little bit more than my son. She's older, has more experience, and so that one's been going pretty well. My youngest child, she's working on titles and thumbnails, and she's creative and artsy, and so we're giving her some room to kind of create things that will help me with my business. So that's part of my we. The other part of my we is my wife, and my wife is awesome. We film a lot of our reviews together, so she'll film me talking about a product, or I'll film her talking about a product. And so that's one thing we do together. Another thing we're doing together right now is we're actually co-authoring a book, and it's been really fun because we're messing around with ChatGPT and other AI tools to take things like what I'm doing for you right now, where I'll have a video or an audio track, and we'll get it transcribed, and then we'll upload all those tracks to a folder on ChatGPT and say, hey, these are some things that we care about. Can you help us format it and fill in the gaps? And we've actually, this has been such a revelation for me, having already authored several books. This is a better process. It's way more efficient, and it produces better results than my traditional writing. I can't even imagine now writing a book without using AI, because while it's still my ideas and even my voice, most of the prompts that I put into ChatGPT are, leave it all my words, just help me format this and put this in the right order and things like that. And it does it immediately. It's so fast. And so it's like I have a free copy editor, I have a free project editor, that does the overarching arcs to the book. It's been wonderful. So that's my we, and I bring those up because what are we working on? Well, last week I worked a lot on books. I have 3 different books I'm working on. One on teaching, one on parenting, and one on, what's my other? Just transformation, a self-help kind of book. And I spent a lot of time working on those books this last week, which meant I was spending less time creating other content, videos, audio, stuff like that. Now, I don't want to go on forever with this today, but let me just share a little bit more about what my workflow looks like, what my day looks like. You'll see that I'm out here on this trail right now. My learning part of the day is, well, there's really 2 different times. One is when I need a break. If I've been working really intensely, and I kind of use that Pomodoro technique where you work like 15 minutes and then take a 10-minute break. And often I'll set a timer for that, but sometimes I won't. I'll just know this is how long I work. And when I need a break, I have different profiles that I've created with Google where all my bookmarks are on that same profile, all my different content that I'm interested in. So for example, one of my profiles is called Chasing Junk, and it's where I geek out on things from the 80s. My own YouTube channel where I upload videos of me opening baseball cards and talk about nostalgia. And all my bookmarks for that it include other websites and other YouTube channels that have to do with the 80s and nostalgia. And so if I've worked hard for 50 minutes and I need a 10-minute break, I'll open up that profile and watch a YouTube video or 2. And so I break up my day by learning little things just to break up the day. The other time I learn is early in the morning when I'm out here on my runs. I go running or walking almost every morning. And right now it's after I actually take my youngest daughter to cross country at the middle school, and then I stay and help with the team. So that's kind of a workout, but I'm mostly there to support the kids. Then I come home and I come out to this trail and I listen to podcasts. So right now, my top podcast I listen to is I listen to Think Media, Sean Cannell, where he talks about YouTube. I listen to Dusty Porter's podcast, and I can't even remember what it's called. It's like the YouTube something. So another one on YouTube. I listen to Colin and Samir, who are also talking about video creation. So that's what I'm kind of geeking out on right now, is that video creation and stuff. I also listen to Nick Loper's The Side Hustle, or I can't remember what they're called, but it's about side hustles. So I listen to Nick Loper, and then I have a few other podcasts that I'll listen to from time to time. But that's my main stuff. And so I'll come out on this trail, I'll listen to things, and then if I have time when I'm done, just like I'm talking to you, I'll open up an audio file and just speak into it and give my journal. This is what I want to work on this week. This is what's going well. And then I can get that transcribed as soon as I upload the audio file to my computer. And then I have pages and pages of notes and journaling, and that helps me to set my goals. I just want to wrap up with just giving you a general sense of what I did last week and what I plan on doing this week, and then we'll see how this format works. Last week, so when it comes to income, I'm still teaching, so I teach classes over the summer, so that's kind of my priority number one when it comes to work. My wife also has a job, so she's bringing in income, and then I work overtime, so I have extra classes that I work. So that's making up more than 50% of our household income. We also have a rental property that brings in a little bit of money. We have dividend paying stocks that bring in a little bit of money. And then I work as a content creator, and I'm monetized on YouTube. I'm monetized on TikTok Shop, and the bulk of my money comes from being an Amazon influencer, where I upload videos directly to the Amazon platform. And so every week I spend time with that. And a lot of my videos are sponsored. So it's not these big brand deals, it's micro deals, right? Where I'm getting paid $40, $50, maybe $100 to do a branded review. And last week I did, I think, 6 of those. And then I'm also on Creator Connections, sometimes accepting products for free because the commissions are better. And I probably did 4 or 5 of those last week. So that's where I'm spending part of my time, is with reviews. I spent a lot of my time last week working on books. And then I spent a little bit of my time developing my different YouTube channels: Chasing Junk, Elementary Teacher Tips, Creator Side Income, and then reviews of cool stuff. So those are the 4 main channels that I'm working on right now. I also have one called Happiness Built, where I'd like to spend more time. I'm just not there yet. So what do I want to do differently this week? Well, over the weekend I have family coming in, so I know I'm not going to have a lot of time Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I really want to wrap up some of these book projects. I'm doing an experiment to see how quickly I can write a book. I hoped I could do it in a day, but the preparation took more than a day. But I do think I can do it in a week. So I'm going to try to completely write and publish a book in a week. Now, don't let that mislead you. The material I'm using for that is years and years worth of notes that I'm transcribing. So I didn't actually write the book in a week. It took place over 7 years, but I'm taking this resource that was just sitting there doing nothing and transforming it into a book that can help people. And that seemed like a really worthwhile goal. So that's where I'm going to put a lot of focus over the next 3 days. I have a ton of videos that I need to film. We didn't make a lot of money from Prime Day as Amazon influencers, but we did spend a lot of money. And we like to do Christmas in July, where we do all our back to school shopping. And so we have clothes for the kids and other school supplies. We'll celebrate that this week, but we're going to review all those things that we purchased. And then during Prime Week in July, we do most of our December Christmas shopping, just so we don't have to worry about it. But also strategically, that's where I'm looking for things that I think will review well, that we'll make money on. And we've done this for the last 3 years. We do a lot of shopping in July, spend like $1,000 to $2,000. And because of those products, we end up making at least double that. And so spending $2,000 will probably result in us earning $4,000. But this is the week I'm putting in that work. So I'm taking all those things I purchased during Prime Week. They've all arrived, or most of them have arrived now. And so this week we'll be filming those products, uploading them to my YouTube channel and to Amazon, and then continuing to work with the different brands and sponsors that I have for my videos. So that's my plan for this week. If I can do some more content creation, I'd like to. Obviously, even for this channel, Creator Side Income, I'm sitting on like 20 or 30 episodes that I've never published. I'd like to publish 1 or 2 of those this week, so if I can get to it, I will. But that's kind of where I'm at. Now, it does look, I apologize, I've never done a live stream before. There are comments, but it's just random people that hopped on. I don't think I have actually a question. It's just, why do I look funny? And I was born that way. That's it. So that's all I've got for you. In the future, if you want to tune in on Monday mornings, and if you have some questions, maybe I'll take this a little longer. I'll answer any questions I get. I guess I should answer. I know I have at least one question I didn't answer from my videos last week. DGG, who I responded to individually, he's a friend of mine, but he asked about templates, working with sponsors. What do I write to get products? Because, you know, I make about $500 to $1,000 a month with that branded content, and it's a fun part of my business. I'm not going to give you the template here, but I'll give you the general what I say. If I have somebody write to me and say, hey, they always say, we've been watching your videos for a long time, we resonate with your content, would you review this thing for me? They're always hoping to do them for free, right? So they want to get that product in my hands, get a free review out of me. And so my response always going back is, thanks for reaching out. I love creating videos. I appreciate you reaching out to me. Here are my rates. And then I have one rate for just a standalone YouTube video, a separate rate that's slightly higher for just an Amazon video, and then another rate that's slightly higher than that for both an Amazon and a YouTube video. And the reason I do those differently is, and my lowest video is the Amazon only. And that's because I do minimal editing on those videos. They're customer review style videos. They're only 1 to 2 minutes long, and I say that in the template. For the YouTube videos, YouTube promotes different videos based on different metrics. And what I have found is horizontal videos on YouTube that are slightly longer, 2 to 5 minutes, do better. And so I do a little bit more editing on the YouTube videos, and so that costs a little bit more. If somebody wants something that I post on both Amazon and YouTube, I kind of compromise those two things. I make it as customer friendly as possible, but also make them slightly longer. Maybe I'll have a little bit of B-roll. I'll look up the questions that people have about that product. I'll do a little bit more research, and I'll make a solid video. And that's where most of my videos are going on both platforms. And so people will hire me. Right now, my rates start at $65 and go up to $95. And typically, when someone gets a response, 50%, just that, it's over and they're done. They'll either write back and say, we don't have a budget, or would you be willing to do it for free? It's our first collaboration. And I'll write them back and say, sorry, I'm only accepting paid collaborations right now. Another 25% says, that's a little bit over our budget. Would you lower your rate to this? And then the last group says, that sounds great. And they'll just pick one of those options. When they negotiate, I always go back with options once again. So I'll say, hey, if you want me to do 2 or 3 videos, I'll give you a reduced rate. Or if you want to send, so this is one I did this week. Somebody sent me a really nice set of chairs, and they're sending me 2 chairs, and they're not paying me. It's a Creator Connections deal, but they wanted photos with it and usage rights and things, and for me that's not worth it. And so I wrote back and I said, you can pay my usual rate, which in this case would be a few $100s, because they want the usage rights. Or what if you sent me, instead of 1 set of chairs, send me 2 sets of chairs? Now the retail value on that's going to be $600 or $700, but the value for me is now I have a full set for my patio. And or if I choose to sell that, my wife will put it on Facebook Marketplace, and we usually get about a third of retail. So for $600, $700, we could probably get between $100 and $200, which would then make it worth our while to actually put it up on Facebook Marketplace. And so that's kind of my back and forth. Now, as far as my original template for creator connections, it's much simpler. It's, I'm a product reviewer. Do you send out free samples? Here's a link to my YouTube storefront. Here's a link to my Amazon storefront. And I just keep it at that. I say, I'm interested in making a high quality video for this product. Do you send free samples? And so it's a really simple one. And the response rate to that, so this is outgoing messages instead of responding to other people. This is me reaching out to people. My response rate on that's like 10%. All right, now that's enough. I need to get home. This has been a long walk. But if you do have questions, if you have suggestions for this format, let me know and I will take those under consideration. Thanks, bye. How do I stop it? There's an X, I hope this stops it.